What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Self. I want to be back with another build video, and in today's build video we are going to be covering a PvE build for the hunters. This build is focused around either the Liar's Handshake or Assassin's Cowl Exotic. It is a super fun build, both good for survivability and dealing a lot of damage. This is my personal go-to build anytime I'm playing Gambit. I have so much fun meleeing everything to death, never using ammo, and I usually end up doing the most damage to the Primeval with this build. It's a very good build. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. Getting straight into the build, the most important thing about this build is the subclass. We are using Top Tree Arc Strider, taking advantage of Combination Blow, Combat Flow, Deadly Reach, and Gambler's Dodge. The idea behind this build is we dodge to get our melee and melee to get our dodge back, and with Combination Blow, we will be able to do enough damage to one-shot most adds, so we'll be able to successfully keep this combo going, and we'll have a little bit of extra range to do it. Getting into the mods with this build, first we are going to be pairing Well of Ions with Overload Wellmaker. Overload Wellmaker states defeating a combatant with a finisher spawns 2 Arc Elemental Wells. Well of Ions states picking up an Arc Elemental Well causes your next melee to deal increased damage. Now, I think you can see where this is going. Finish, and if you are using Assassin's Cowl, finish to go invisible, pick up your Arc Elemental Wells, do increased damage. I'm not using Assassin's Cowl with this build because I feel like it's a little unnecessary. The survivability is already there with Liar's Handshake, but I digress. Now the next mod I'm using is just for a little bit of extra mobility. I'm using Powerful Friends. It's not anything specific that you need. In fact, if you wanted to make this build a little more effective, you could replace this with Elemental Ordnance. Because you're using an Arc subclass, you'd be able to trigger Well of Ions more frequently. And the last 2 mods we are running with this build is Protective Light and Shield Break Charge. Shield Break Charge we will be able to use at any given point in time to become charged with light because we have an Arc Melee, Solar Explosions from our Fatebringer, and we have a Void Shotgun along with an Eyes of Tomorrow for more Solar in case we can't do it with our Fatebringer. This will give us charges of light and probably max us out at charges of light, along with the fact that Deicide is Void at the beginning of every boss phase. In any game of Gambit, you have 2 Void Shields guaranteed to spawn with the Envoys. So you can get your 2 stacks of Charge with Light, which will both go towards Protective Light if the Primeval does enough damage to you because you're point blanking him. The weapons we plan on using for this build, only one weapon in particular matters. You have to have some sort of shotgun with a 1-2 punch. This is very important. This states hitting an enemy with every pellet in a shot increases melee damage for a short duration. This is just enough time for you to shoot 1 bullet and then do 2 melees, which will trigger Liar's Handshake as well for a very high damage second melee. And with Combination Blow times 3, that melee does a very high amount of damage, as you can see in the background gameplay. For our last 2 weapons, I have in my kinetic slot Fatebringer, and in my heavy slot I'm using Eyes of Tomorrow. Now the reason I'm using Eyes of Tomorrow is because I wanted to make this a more all-rounded solo build, so I could go into Gambit without a team and know that I can rely on at least myself and I don't have to rely on possible Blueberry teammates that aren't going to do very much. Eyes of Tomorrow allows me to easily kill invaders and invade if need be. The reason I'm using Fatebringer is because it has Firefly. This Solar Explosion can trigger Shield Break Charge. This, in all reality, is very good because I have Arc Melee, Solar Explosions, and then Void Shotgun. So I can always charge myself with light with Shield Break Charge, allowing me to use Protective Light effectively, which is a very good mod with this build. A couple quick notes with the weapons in this build. 1, if you are running with a team that you know is very effective at killing invaders and invading themselves, you can replace Eyes of Tomorrow with something like Anarchy and Breach and Clear to have the maximum amount of damage. Or in your kinetic slot, you could completely drop the heavy in and of itself and run Wither Horde with your shotgun with 1-2 punch instead. The reason you're able to run double special with this build is because you have pretty much no need for ammo until you get to Primeval, and the hoarded ammo that you will have will be more than enough to last you through the boss phase. So to summarize the video, I put together a little template for you guys. The exotics you want to run in this build are Assassin's Cowl or Liar's Handshake. The mods you're going to need to make this build are Protective Light, Shield Break Charge, Overload Wellmaker, and Well of Ions. And then the only weapon perks that matters, you have to have some sort of 1-2 punch on a shotgun. And the subclass you are going to want to run for this build is Top Tree Arc Strider. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All the support helps the channel. I appreciate you guys. If you guys want to watch me live on Twitch, running Grandmasters, playing around with some of these builds, link is in the description. Stop by, say hi. I appreciate all the support on my Twitch channel as well. If you guys want to get notified when I go live or post a new video, make sure to follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description for that as well. Have a good one.